The NCAA on Friday handing down penalties to the Syracuse basketball program that include a suspension of Coach Jim Boeheim for his, quote, failure to monitor his program. Hi, everyone. Here in our Campus Insider studios, I'm Ray Crawford here with our college basketball analyst Jordan Cornette. And JC, we're going to get your thoughts on these penalties announced by the NCAA. Let's share with you, though, some of the highlights of the news happening today from the NCAA, adding to the already self-imposed postseason ban by the school. The NCAA has put the program on 5 years probation. They must vacate all the wins they had using ineligible players during the period of times you see on your screen there, the loss of scholarships, and Jim Boeheim suspended the first 9 conference games of the ACC schedule next year. So, JC, what's your reaction?
Severe penalties handed down by the NCAA to Syracuse without 3 scholarship guys for 4 seasons. It's also interesting to me that they suspended Coach Boeheim not just for 9 games, 9 conference games. So these are going to be those games that actually matter. It's not going to be those bunnies on the schedule to begin the season. The glaring omission for me, no postseason ban handed down from the NCAA. A self-imposed ban from Syracuse by the school on a year where they're probably a bubble team, and yet still the NCAA has a chance to see that as a sneaky move because they probably weren't going to make the tournament and don't take action themselves. So that's what sticks out to me. Hey, look, I get it. The NCAA doesn't want to bury these schools like they did Penn State football back with the Paterno scandal, or you look at Indiana basketball with what they had down there, and now these schools are just getting back to relevancy. But you still got to make them understand that these aren't things that they can get away with, and I think the lack of that postseason ban sticks out to me.
All right, so as you look at the NCAA report, they throw around terms like academic fraud, impermissible benefits, boosters interacting with players. Oftentimes we see those words, it leads to the end of a coach's era and their career at a particular school. What do you think is going to happen to Jim Boeheim?
You're absolutely right, Ray. I've seen coaches fired for a lot less. And as you look at this, I think it's one of those things where Coach Boeheim's been there for nearly 40 years. He's a lot of equity with that school. He's achieved a lot. He means a lot to the program, the community. I don't think they're going to part ways with Coach. I think his job is safe. I think you're then looking at buyouts. You're looking at paying off a coach who's been there for a long time and means so much. You've also got a coach waiting in the wings as the associate head coach, Mike Hopkins. That's another buyout you're looking at. So I just think there's so many layers to this where ultimately Syracuse, who's been in this position before with other issues in the past, they're going to take a look in the mirror, and this is kind of who they are, and I think they're going to ride out with Coach Boeheim.
All this coming as the postseason really gets underway, and Syracuse won't be there, so they've got a lot of time to deal with all this stuff off the court. JC, thanks very much for continuing coverage of college basketball and football. Keep it here at Campus Insiders.